How many times have you heard things like owning a home is the American dream, or you'll never lose money buying a house, or you should quit renting as soon as possible because you're just throwing money away? I'm here to tell you a house is a terrible investment. I've owned two homes and very possibly might own a home again. And I'm not going to tell you that you should never buy a home, but if you're a potential new homeowner or you think about buying a home again, this video is for you to make you think a little bit and consider exactly what you're buying with your money. If you're new here, my channel is called Anti-Fragile Living, and we talk about living your best life and how to thrive in a chaotic world. So the first thing I want to do is define the word investment. An investment is something that throws off cash flow or it rises in value over time with minimal or no input. So I looked up the value or the rate of return, average rate of return on single family houses in America. There's some differing reports and results, but the best I could find is the average is around 4%. Some say 3%, 4%. I saw 4.27%. So, okay, we'll go with a high number. We'll go with 4.27% over time historically. Now, some decades may be different. Some local markets are hot, so sometimes they're appreciating by 20%. And I'm not talking about hot markets. Obviously, you can make money in a hot market, but I'm talking about the average home over time, 4.27% average rate of return. Now you may say that doesn't sound so bad. That at least you're getting money. Well, first of all, we have to look at inflation. The average inflation rate is 3.29% historically. So now you're only coming out about 1% ahead of inflation. So you're getting 1% in your house. Well, at least that's something, right? At least you're gaining some positive value. But let's look at all the costs that go into owning a home. I wrote a few of these down and looked up some average numbers, but there's a lot of inputs, a lot of cost and maintenance that goes into owning a home. Property taxes. We'll start with that. This is an average of $500 a month easily. Again, some states are very low. I know Hawaii and Alabama, Wyoming, California even is very low property taxes. Some states are high, like Illinois, New Jersey. But overall, you're going to have to pay property taxes in every state, and it's only going to go up over time. It's never going to go down, and it's never going to end. Unlike a mortgage, which ends, property taxes never end. So let's figure about, could be $8,000 per year because it's going to keep going up and up. That's going to be at least $300,000, $350,000 in extra taxes at the end of, say, 40 years. Let's say you own a home for, say this is your forever home. You buy it at 25 and sell it at 65 when you retire and move somewhere else. But we'll say 40 years. Well over $300,000 in taxes. A new roof, today's dollars, it's $10,000 to $15,000 to get a new roof on. You might have to do that twice. Hot water heaters break. That's today's dollars. That's like $1,000, $2,000. New AC, $6,000. New furnace, $6,000. New siding on your house, $10,000. These are just guesses. Well, you have to keep things up to date. How about a new kitchen remodel? You got to have that at least once, maybe twice for the course of this lifetime of the house. That's got to be 40 grand in today's dollars. That might even be conservative. And if you do that twice, next time it'll be 60 grand, 70 grand, 100 grand. Bathrooms, you'll update those at least once or twice. Say that's 10,000 per. Maybe you have 2 bathrooms, 3 bathrooms. How about interior decorating? You got to paint all the time. You have window treatments, window coverings, new floors, new carpeting. You have the outside stuff like gutters. It might have a sump pump, sewer system, which could break. Foundation issues, plumbing, all kinds of plumbing repairs. There'll be electrical outages or electrical instances where you might have something that needs to be done by an electrician. Sometimes if it's an older house, you need the whole thing rewired. That's easily 10 to 20 grand there. So you can see there's just thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in costs. I don't know what that is. Maybe at least $500,000 over the course of a lifetime of the house. Now, is that better than an apartment? I don't know. I mean, you have to live somewhere, right? So the point is you should buy a house for other reasons and not as an investment, okay? Things like if you want to put down roots and you want to have a permanent place to stay, then no one's going to tell you that you have to leave or raise your rent. Or you want control over your property, you want to be able to redecorate, right? And paint, and put on an extra room and do landscaping and mow the lawn and put flowers and all that stuff. That's great. I love it. That's a great reason to own a home. I'm all for it, but just don't tell me that's an investment. It's not. I mean, you may sell it. I'm sure you probably will sell it for more than what you bought it for, but you put a lot of money into it. Now, this is like, some of these car guys. They say, well, a car can be an investment too, and you take care of it, right? It's like the guy who bought a car in 1985 for $9,000 or $8,000, and then today he sells it for double that for $16,000. Say, like, I doubled my money. Cars, cars can return value. Well, first of all, congratulations, you doubled your money in 40 years. That's not a very good rate of return. I could do much better, probably in a savings account. Second of all, you drove it around, you paid insurance, you paid taxes on it, licensing. You put gas in it every month, every week, every year. You had to do a lot of maintenance, all the oil changes and belts and hoses and transmission service you had to do, and maybe you had to replace the engine once, or you kept things up to date, and maybe you customized the interior and you fixed the seats and you kept it look. All the stuff went into it, all the work, all that money, and now you say it's worth more 40 years later. It may be You may be selling it for more than you bought it for 40 years ago, but that is not an investment. I'm all for buying cars too, and if you want to work on it, that's cool. But cars are for utility, and I look at houses the same way. It's just something to buy and something to use. So hopefully this video was thought-provoking at least. If you agree or disagree, I'd love to hear your comments below. If you like the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. And if you really like it, please buy a copy of my book. You'll see a link in the description below. It's called How to Flourish in Chaos. And I hope to see you in the next video.